Okay, welcome back to Combat Mission, where I've screwed up my scheduling again, and I'm gonna throw together one of these quick format, well, quick to make playthrough videos so that I can get back on track. This, as you may be familiar with if you've played it in Final Blitzkrieg, is the Drop Zone P scenario. So I've played this before. There's a mixed group of UK and US airborne attacking a position in Operation Varsity in 1945. Except this is Combat Mission Black Sea, and it's 2017, and the Brits aren't in it, so I just have some kind of vaguely equivalent force of US light infantry. If it's passed you by, which it may well have done, it is possible to swap maps between different combat mission titles. If you open up one of the BTT files in a hex editor, you can change a value and change what map, which game you can open them with. This doesn't always work because there's not always compatibility. Shock Force 2, for example, annoyingly, because it's one of the games that has a tremendous amount of content, just doesn't work because it uses an arid tile set, and most of the other games use a temperate tile set. And if there are buildings that are present in one game that aren't in another, that can also balk it. So there's some of the Final Blitzkrieg maps don't work when you try and move them into Battle for Normandy because they have specific custom buildings like factories or windmills sometimes, stuff like that. But this one has worked. You can tell it's slightly different when you look at the forests, because the trees aren't quite there. It's saying, you know, put trees A, B, C, and D in, but they're different in Final Blitzkrieg than they are in Black Sea. So we have all this silver birch here next to random giant pine trees. So that's why the forest looks a little bit weird, but the rest of it's in there. Really interesting is that a lot of stuff carried over. You've already seen, if I go to the briefing carried over. I haven't redone this or anything. All the graphics are have carried over. The setup for the battle, the objectives are still there. The scoring is there. The forces are a bit balked because obviously they just don't exist. They're reading off different sheets, as it were, so I've had to reconstruct some of them. But the assignments for them in the scenario designer, so the which units are objectives for the other side, which are in which reinforcements groups, and which come in which AI groups, that all carries over, as does, speaking of the AI plans. So this scenario, with a little bit of work and cross-referencing, works in Black Sea. And this gives us a really interesting opportunity that I swear I was going to get around to at some point, to tackle a World War II scenario on a World War II map with a modern force. The caveat is that I made this scenario. Well, I didn't make the scenario. I've played through the scenario once already, and I've fiddled it to bring it up to Black Seas 2017. So, you know, I don't think there's going to be many surprises. I know what's coming. But I do know less than I did when I did it. I was originally going to do this maybe 6 months ago, something like that. Oh, God, maybe even longer. It just kind of lost momentum, and it just didn't seem like worth putting the effort in. And I moved on to other things. But now it's later. Obviously, I haven't deleted the files or anything, and we can get stuck in. And there's a bit of distance in time. Hopefully, you know, I'm not going to be like, oh, that's where that BMP is going. I know what's going to happen now. So let's see. Do I need to come up with a different plan here? Probably not. I have 2 platoons of infantry, and these are big, chunky American platoons. So we have the HQ and then 3 squads. They're all slightly under strength because of the nature of the scenario. They were about, I think, 80–90% strength in the original to simulate the general chaos and misfortune that accompanies every single airborne drop ever. But we also have attached a forward observer team, a javelin team. I think there should be 2, but I cut it down to 1 to make it slightly less unbalanced, or whatever I was thinking at the time. Blame past hapless. And then we've got 2 machine gun teams. So the actual rifle platoons here, or I guess they should be airborne platoons. As far as I know, the organization is basically the same. Are a lot chunkier than their World War II counterparts, which helps because there's actually 3 platoons, if I remember rightly, in the original. We have a UK platoon, a US platoon, and then a glider UK platoon. So we're also backed up by some elements from the company HQ. We've got the company HQ, the XO's assistant, by the looks of it, who's ended up on his own because of the reduced headcount, a fire support team, and then we've got a couple of 60mm mortars. Are they going to be useful? I actually don't know. We don't usually see a lot of them in the modern titles, and off the top of my head, they are usually kind of restricted to flare usage a lot of the time in more modern warfare compared to World War II, when they were, like, you know, amazing and really useful down at that tactical level. So yeah, we'll see how useful they are. And then in the original, there's 3 Tetrarch light tanks. Light tanks aren't really a thing unless you're the Germans and you got the Wiesel. So I swapped in 3 Humvees. 2 of these have Mark 19s. And the other one has 50. How useful are they going to be compared to having a light tank? I don't know. Actually, having a light tank probably would essentially be a difference in armament, because the kind of weapons you're going to be going up against, okay, World War II anti-tank guns and Panzerschrecks, yeah, they'll mess a Tetrarch up. Because of the differential in the armor, but they'll also mess up a Sherman. Then you take a Humvee and, you know, go up a level to, say, a Bradley, which isn't air transportable anyway, not in an airborne assault, an aerial assault context. I mean, are they going to stand up to ATGMs and RPG-7s that much better? Well, actually, yeah, because they had the era package, but we'll just ignore that. So yeah, I don't think we're really missing out on a huge amount of capability by bringing the old Humvees along. So let's get this party started. Let's take first platoon and get them forward. So you guys, there's just 3 of you in that team, you get to go first. And let's just bring you down this hedge here. you should be able to spot some targets on your way up to this corner. You guys just wait a little bit for them to make the distance and then carry on. We're going to come a little to the right because this hedge is slightly raised up. And we'll just go as far as this that fence there. Bring you guys up. Let's make sure we split up to disperse a little bit. Can we go forward a little? Yeah, we can. I don't know if that's just a weird artifact, the way the deployment zone is changing there. Just, you know, one of those weird artifacts due to the to swapping the map over. But yeah, let's bring this platoon up. Okay, base of fire. Where do I want my base of fire? Well, it was around here, so we'll keep the MGs quite central. Give them a little bit of a pause so that they're not walking in at the same pace as the rifle teams there. You are going to be the reserve. You can sit there. The javelin team, let's bring the javelin team off to the left. In fact, let's change things up for this team here and get them into the woods for a little bit of flank protection, because I want the javelin team over here where it can cover off on this flank, and I don't want to send the javelin team anywhere that a rifle team hasn't already been, because it would suck to lose such an important asset by failing the send someone expendable first rule. And then we'll get the platoon leader and his FO. They can follow up the middle there. Okay, so second platoon, they can wait there. And we'll see how the contact develops. And the Humvees can actually hang around on this track. I don't want to send them forward until they have something to shoot at. The XO, I mean, God knows what we're going to do with the XO. He's just like one guy here. He can be on casualty collection duty. We'll stash the company HQ in the woods up here where they can sort of see everything, but they're less likely to get shot. The fire support team, in fact, they can stay with them. I forgot, I have a drone. Let's get a drone up on that first area there. That's excellent. And then the mortars, well, let's stick them in the field over here. For now, we can always move them up for a bit of direct fire if we need to. Okay, let's press go and see what happens. Those trees, those pine trees sticking up, or fir trees. Pine trees or fir trees, you decide in the comments. It's just a general coniferous tree to me right now. They're really annoying me. Just random. This is one of those things that makes no sense. If you heard that, It's the day after Halloween. So obviously you would fire fireworks off. I mean, that just makes total sense. I'm not that close to bonfire night. Well, I guess I should be glad they're doing it now, not while I'm trying to sleep. Okay, so nothing happened on that turn. The drone didn't spot anything, which is interesting because this that's going to get annoying. This field here is, you know, full of trenches, as I remember. But hey, let's keep going. One interesting thing here is that I'm kind of holding the Humvees back when they're frequently used as a... Oh, the dogs noticed the fireworks. Awesome. We might pause for a little bit, but we'll see. I'm using the Humvees as a... Yeah, hang on. Okay, hopefully that's all that done. I'm not sure how much the mic was actually picking up all the excess noise, but we're better off without it. Nothing happened in that turn, but the drone has now spotted a tiny little bit of trench and some barbed wire, which looks weird because if you're paying attention, we're in Black Sea, and Black Sea doesn't actually have trenches as an option, so that's clearly something that's hard-coded. Let's keep going. Yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, the Humvees. So usually in a non, I guess, pure light infantry context, I'd be wanting to use the Humvees as reconnaissance assets, and they are equipped for it, I think. No, they're not. Okay, they're not the recon. Not the recon Humvees with the fancy LRAS and all that cool stuff. But still, they are, you know, you can use them for reconnaissance purposes. Instead, they're kind of like my mobile fire support, because obviously it's easier to just drive up a Humvee and start blazing away with grenades or the 50 than it is to like lug the damn thing up there. So yeah, still no contact. That's cool. These guys are starting to get to the end of their waypoints though. Let's hop you over here because we're not going to get contact from over this side, are we? And it would be nice to have, you know, a hedge in between us and the potential bad guys. Let's correspondingly spread you guys out this way and bring you up to the edge, but not actually to the wall there. This platoon, which is... oh, I forgot about these guys. Need to move up, and then the the XO's buddy, on his own, he can just move up there. So this is an interesting one in... let's turn those trees down a bit. It's an interesting one in terms of... Oh yeah, we've got a good view out there. That's good. That's what we want. It's an interesting one in terms of spacings and things. You know, how far back... You know, if I'm going to be walking everywhere, how far back do I want to keep my reserve platoon? You know, that's a big deal. Especially, you know... If this was, if there were, say, enemy tanks hanging around, or if there were, spotters with access to artillery. You know, you really want to be spread out. And just try and make it as unprofitable as possible to blap you. Oh, did you flash, or is that just my eyes? It was just my eyes. That's awesome. Cool, still nothing. You're still moving. You're still moving up. Yep. Oh, contact front. Obviously we use the Russians as the bad guys here. And oh, that's another group, isn't it? Okay. Who can see them? Not the guy with the drone. And there's more wire. Okay. And it is... Who's actually getting shot at here? It is these guys. It has to be these guys. Yeah, they're getting a little bit suppressed now. Oh, freaky shadows. Okay, cool. Look, some bad guys. We better kill them. You guys can decline that contact though and get out of dodge while we bring the other bits up. Let's get a machine gun team up there. And do we want to have another machine gun? Where do we want the other MG? Let's put them in between these two squads here. And let's just impart a little bit more speed to those guys. Now, has this FO? Still hasn't. Let's save the mortars. These guys are in position. Let's give you a giant target armor arc so you don't go taking any pot shots, because I just know you're 430 meters away from those guys in those trenches, and I just know that you're gagging to try your luck. Bleeding pixel train. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. Let's develop this contact. That was basically these guys' job, which was to move up and get shot at, so we could find the bad guys. Cool, and you can kind of see the juggling the orders here. It looks like pretty much nailed it, and these the two MGs and this squad is going to pop into position at exactly the right time simultaneously. How good is that? Okay, so how that's nice. That should maybe hopefully work as a base of fire. Am I going to need to get more bodies online? You get up there, Captain Casualty Collector. Am I going to need to get more bodies online? You know, how am I going to exploit this contact? If I can set up a base of fire here, next to the railway line, how, you know, great. Where do I go from there? So I want to have my reserve squad a little bit closer, or maybe a little bit more centrally with the platoon HQ there. You know, so that it can go left, we can go right if we need to. We also have the Humvees. They're pretty snappy, so I can leave them back there. They can drive up here to get fire on Mühlehof if they need to. But first we've got to see how this contact actually pans out. And then, you know, have things standing by a couple of steps back to exploit any opportunities that pop up, but not too far away. You know, I don't really particularly want to get into a long-winded extended firefight, because that generally means you're just going to get more casualties. Cool. So they're in position to get stuck in, get started. So let's get all these guys up to that hedge. Let's wait a little bit for these slightly closer guys to do that. That way, hopefully we can bait the enemy into opening up at a distant target where they are going to be slightly less effective and slightly less likely to cause casualties. And then pop up slightly closer in a way that's going to make our fire more effective. You might actually send one of the mortars up as well. I might actually just straight up farm the mortars to the platoon, because I don't think indirect fire with them is going to be that effective. And you guys aren't really doing anything, so let's start trotting you up here. I would ideally maybe want to team over this side to give a bit more security for the javelin, but you know, let's be honest, I know nothing's going to happen because I turned the scenario inside out. Oh, there we are. They're the guys that I've forgotten about. And what's that? And why is it stuck there? And I thought all the... okay, at least the javelin can actually see it. What do we got? We got a BMP-3. That, if I remember, that was a different location to where it was in the other, in the World War II one. That's got a good line of enfilade down the railway there, but not for long. Meow. Boom. There we go. And the inevitable BMP-3 cook-off. So yeah, I'll take that. It doesn't look like we've had any casualties. I know that's the kiss of death saying that with those guys over there. It doesn't look like they've achieved anything either, though. I'm going to go back and see why. Yeah, so past me obviously gave the BMPs, gave the enemy BMPs with the ERA package, which is interesting. Obviously not very helpful against the javelin, but it's something to watch out for if I have to go toe-to-toe with them with the with the 84s and M320s and things. Yeah, what happened to these guys? Because they kind of got... Oh, that's what happened to that guy. He got hit in the knee. He got hit in the knee by a 40mm HEDP grenade. Oh, ow. Sucks to be you. These guys on this side, oh, they can see. The MG team can't. The other MG team can't either. Is that because they're prone? I suspect that's because they're prone. We'll check in the next turn and see if we can't put any fire down, but yeah. So what's this? This has got to be like a platoon position, right? And obviously I swapped Igla teams in instead of the actual flak that's in the World War II version, because the only other flak that's in Black Sea is the Tunguska, and putting that in would just be unfair. Very different kind of asset. Ideally, you'd want some ZSU-23 platforms, something like that. But no. Okay, so scratch 1 BMP. Excellent. He is down to 1 missile. Not that encouraging. Let's make sure that we get the other Javelin team moving up as well. Okay, so can these MG teams actually see anything? No, they have no line of sight. They need to undeploy the weapon. Let's move you over to them because they can actually see the bad guys. You, yeah, also cannot see. Yeah, you guys just need to engage them. Part of me already wants to bring the Humvees up and start shooting those guys up, but if we look at the kind of angles of fire that we're going to be getting, I'm thinking about using the Mark 19s. The Mark 19 is going to have that long, thin kind of beaten zone, and firing it, across the trench like this, that's not going to be that effective. I really want to be firing down this angle here. Because that way I'm going to get that much more effective. A lot more rounds. Rounds that miss what I'm aiming at are probably going to hit something else, which is obviously what we want. I might also move the drone over a little bit because, well, first of all, I'm very depressed that it didn't spot the BMP-3 that was just sat there and may have driven across the field. Or for that matter, the guys in the trenches who were just sat there. But obviously, it's not... It's really difficult sometimes with the drones in Black Sea to really kind of remember that they are Battlefront's impression of drones in 2017, and we're really used to seeing lots of drone footage where you can just see everything, and that's why you're seeing the drone footage. No one's going to upload drone footage where they spend hours and hours just flying around the front and they never see a bad guy. And B, we're like, 10 years later from when Black Sea was being built. And, things have changed. It's an SVD team. Can we shoot him? Oh, here comes the 40mm again. Oh, I missed. Good. That's something interesting that the World War II forces really lacked, which is I feel like I have a bit less small arms firepower. I mean, that sounds ridiculous because I'm comparing. These guys have a lot more small arms fire than a World War II rifle platoon, especially an American, even rather an American World War II rifle platoon. But it just feels a lot less chunky because it's not, groups of 12 guys with Garans blazing away with 30-06. Right, so where's that mortar? We might need the mortar. We really might need the mortar. These guys still can't see anything. Oh, yeah. See, that's one of those examples where there's no point. I can engage that position, but what's the point? Because I don't, I want to shoot. I want the guy to stick his head up so I can dome him. To use the technical term. The problem I've got is that if I can suppress him, but then what do I do? Okay, he's suppressed, that's great. I want to suppress people so I gain some freedom to maneuver. Where am I going to maneuver? out into this great big open field? No. I could try and maneuver across here and go up the field boundary and then frag him. Great, actually achieve something, but that's going to be under fire from these guys who are also conspicuously not suppressed. So I either need to get more firepower up to get some more suppression going, or I need to think of something else to do. A potential something else to do is to actually do what I didn't do in the World War II playthrough. So the World War II playthrough, I stacked this tree line and then fought through the objectives from right to left like that. What we might do here actually is we have a kind of interim base of fire here. It's a little bit too far away to really do anything. We could send the other platoon, or elements of the other platoon, up this way, across the railroad here, stack this field boundary, somehow crossing the middle of this ground here, use them as the base of fire for the assault on Mühlhof, and bring this platoon up and round onto this tree line and then do the attack. That could be a bit more interesting. And we've already used 10 minutes, there's only 36 left, so let's get a move on. So you guys, let's bring you guys forward and see if you get bumped. While we start transiting one of these squads over here with an MG team. Let's send an MG team as well. Again, the Humvees, part of me really wants to use them, and another part of me is like, no. Those MG teams are just going to have to get used to the idea of using their M240s without the tripod. Oh, bit of a cook-off there. So something else that's always kind of interesting in combat mission when you're doing stuff like this is, okay, I'm in a firefight. Is this indecisive yet? How long have we been in this firefight for how long? In actual game time, like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. There isn't really fire superiority on either side. Speaking of, where's my mortar got to? Yes, hurry up. These guys are far too close to each other. This is like concerning. Oh, you guys have a breaching charge, but you can't use it? Oh no, there we go, blast. Yeah, I can actually blast through this, so I could maybe here, because there's some cover from several rows of trees, punch through up there. You know what? Well, you need to get a move on. Let's bring a team up here. In fact, let's kibosh that. Where's my assault team? You guys need to... Have I got a gap up here? Nope. You guys need to come through here. Blast your way on that, and then get yourselves into that field. There is a tiny amount of defilade, which is actually a bit closer than I'm looking, but whatever. Let's bring... in fact, no, you guys need to be on the other side so you don't shoot them in the back. I know I just did a video about friendly fire and it won't happen, but it's just a good practice. You guys need to start actually shooting at the targets you can see. Thank you very much. So now I want some suppression because I'm going to go forward and start engaging the enemy. And I don't want to be too exposed while I'm doing that. Yeah, that's more like it. And if we're lucky, we might get a statistical and actually hit him. I have to say, it is so weird playing Black Sea and things going this... well, things feeling like they're going this slowly. Doing infantry only stuff in Black Sea is a weird vibe. I'm sorry, what just exploded? Was that you again? Good. For a second I thought an RPG had like detonated over here or something, which it did. I don't know if we're a bit close, slightly too far for RPGs yet, I think. Yeah, these guys should be able to get across in the next turn. And you need to leg it forward. Also an interesting observation, I guess, is the way the US source is really optimized for fires. So, you know, you have a company forward observer and you have forward observers in each platoon, but I don't actually have any fires to call on. And that capability is just kind of wasted. Thought I saw a contact there for a second. A grey contact icon. Right, let's watch this turn into a disaster. These are guys are going to breach this, and because of the way the order works, they're going to punch a hole, run out onto the railway tracks, lie down in the open, and then start moving across, and it's just going to be a complete cluster. Like, these guys are not suppressed at all. Oh, this guy is. Oh, and we got his buddy. Yay. You know, really need to pour the fire on a bit better. In fact, they're actually winning the firefight over here. Oh, they decided not to blast it. But they can run through it anyway. Okay, whatever. Too much time playing Normandy where the bocage is impassable. And they're just about running out to their deaths. Okay, that's cool. We can live with that. You need to kick it up a notch. Or you would do if you could see anything. And you... let's start getting some fire into these potato guys over here. Oh, we took a casualty. The number 2 for the B team on the MG got domed. Oh, I missed that. Okay, casualty collecting person, you're up. You guys better just run in a straight line, really. You guys aren't having any trouble. So let's start moving up a squad. To follow you up. You trailblazers, you. Okay. In before getting massacred by massed PKs. I really should have gotten them to just go to ground once they got over. They're suppressed. They know it's a bad idea. Well, this guy is. Oh, it's actually the team leader. Smarter than his men. It's a distinctly off-target 60mm mortar bomb. Okay, well they seem to have made it. That's cool. Let's go take that sniper team out. If we haven't already. We have, excellent. I missed that as well. And I'm not even playing real time. Okay then, you guys better move up and join them. You guys better keep on shooting at everything. Oh, there we go. The casualty collecting person is on it. You should really be a corporal, I guess. Casualty collecting corporal. Okay, let's get a 60mm mortar bomb in that trench, please. Oh, I'm using the target light command with them because I don't want them to just like spaff all of their ammunition. That's such a horrible word, spaff. Oh, we got somebody else as well, excellent. Oh, they're getting shot at. Well, don't get shot at. That's just silly. I can hear the M110s going. Oh, this may be the worst mortar team ever. Also, I need to stop shooting my own guys in the back with that MG. And you guys are knackered. Sergeant Biggs there. Or... yeah, you Americans and your weird non-commissioned ranks, you're going to have to explain to me what it means when there's a little bit on the bottom as well. What else Yeah, it might be time to move the Humvees up. That one needs to go there, and we need to bring... I want to get copious amounts of grenade launcher. Let's bring it up there for now, and we will stage him across here. Basically, I just want to run him across and then get him up into this kind of area. I know this tree line is safe because these guys aren't getting killed. I need to get him somewhere where he can fire through that gap, preferably from a distance, because he's the gunner for the Mark 19 is still pretty exposed there. And we all know about combat missions penchant for shooting gunners in the face. So I want to have him a relatively standoff distance, which will also, thanks to the combat mission, also patented Drunken Shotgun 19, Mark 19 effect, hopefully give us a bit of a better, a wider effect on target. Oh, there go the fireworks. Where's this mortar gonna land? Oh, close, close. You've upset somebody. Now the next one, in the trench, please. Also close. Also no cigar. Oh. Oh, 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 hello. Hello, trouble. And other trouble. Maybe I won't move the Humvees up. Maybe that would be smart. Yeah, so some BMP3s up there. Did I miss anything over here? Did the mortar get around on target? No. Okay. But they can carry on though, that's having a good suppressive effect. And they're not using the ammunition up too fast. And let's get the javelin. You're telling me they can't actually see anything from there. You know. Well, whatever, we'll see. Bring up the javelin. He's actually out of 7.62 ammo. Oh, okay, because his buddy was the ammo bearer and he just got medic. So now the casualty clearing person is now the ammo bearer because he's carrying 400 rounds of 7.62. So actually, you can keep shooting. Okay, so we've got this javelin covering this flank here in case they hook around here. This javelin's going out in case they go out in the open. Okay, cool. The drone is useless, right? That's number 2, right? Yeah. So, oh, close. The obviously, I don't want to move the Humvees up before I initialize those BMPs. Nothing like something else to just slow everything down. These trenches are like mortar repellent. Off the top of my head, there's 2 AI plans for the reinforcements, which include an armoured car. Well, in the World War II one, it was armoured car and some infantry in half-tracks. And one AI plan, the AI plan I got when I played it in World War II in Final Blitzkrieg, they punched down here before trying to hook in. There's another AI plan where they come up the middle and they enfilade off down here, which I think is maybe more threatening, but we'll see. Also, why are these guys naked? Oh, the temperature is extreme heat. Balls, that would explain all that, wouldn't it? Boo. I blame whoever converted the scenario for not checking that. But hey ho, I guess. I'm just gonna have to suck it up. Alright, let's try and bring these guys up here. They have they got a couple of AT4s if bad guys get close, I guess. Let's also target armor at the other team as well, because you know they're gonna do something stupid. And split these guys down. Just to spread them out a bit, because you know what? It kind of sucks when you get hit by a 30mm cannon or a 100mm HE shell. Oh, did we? Oh, that was just on the edge. Well, that sounded like a death gurgle. God knows a death girdle there. That, oh, God knows what that will be. Okay, is that PFC or oh God, what happened there? Was that 100mm? So, do you remember, like, literally 30 seconds ago when I was like, better spread out, I don't want to get blown up? And how this BMP3 is literally firing a 100mm high explosive shell at these guys. And it's air bursting as well because, well, it might, I think it's air burst. Oh God, there's another one. Oh dear. Well, that's just not nice. Look at that little bugger keyholing through the... Oh. I may have underestimated how difficult this is going to be. Oh, you got the Javelin number 2 and the mortar and... Oh, dear. Well, at least he didn't survive. But, yeah, there's the cook-off. Yeah. Is that specialist or PFC? I don't know. He needs to blap that, and quick. So yeah, really interesting how quickly things went sideways here. And oh yeah, he's disembarking infantry. They're both disembarking infantry. With a bit of luck, see, we got the hit. Hopefully that caused some casualties, and then we have the cook-off, and then we have the cook-off. There we go. Hopefully that's ruined their day a bit. But yeah, that was a nasty turn. You need to take that out. You can't see anything. Concern. You guys are definitely getting targeted. You need to skedaddle. He's out of ammo and not sharing it. I don't know what's going on with those guys, but if he's just down to using his pistol, we better get him out of the way. You guys better also move. There's only one of you, and you look pretty shell-shocked to me, so, you know, might as well leave you there, I guess. And let's move this team up, just to keep a bit of pressure on. They're probably about to get hit by a 100mm shell anyway. It's all up to you, Specialist Shanks. I've decided he's a specialist because then we get some alliteration. At least these guys should be relatively safe once they get out of the firing line. Obviously not them then. And of course the first thing these guys do when they pop up is get themselves murderized, but hopefully that's going to take the pressure. No, don't medic him. Take the... Oh. At least in both of these positions, they do have some actual hard terrain cover that they can hide behind. But yeah, first thing these Muppets tried to do was take out the BMP. Which, okay, yeah, fair enough, I get it, but it's a long shot for an AT-4, alright? As evidenced by the fact that they chunking well missed, but they've only got 2. And where did that even go? That was terrible. Boom. Massive overshoot. Well, I suppose at least they got one left. Oh. I know I was kind of... I mentioned the Weasel earlier. I really want one now. So yeah, we're a bit stymied until... we can sort that out. This guy needs to get away from his buddy, stop giving him first aid, and take out that effing BMP, because I can guarantee you that these guys are going to miss with this 84. Sergeant Phillips is going to miss. What's the distance? 263 meters with an 84. I mean, I'm going to let him take it, but... he's going to miss. Might as well bring the Humvee HQ up. There's no point. I mean... the Mark 19 armed Humvees have a chance of dunking on that BMP-3. But the BMP-3 has better optics, it's got thermals, it has a much higher velocity direct flat line of fire weapon in the cannon, which will absolutely just Swiss cheese a Humvee. It is ever so slightly... oh, I didn't really notice that. It might be ever so slightly hull down. No, not really. It might be from over here, though. So, you know, if I could get behind it or on its flank, I might be able to overwhelm it. But then again, it's the ERA one. And ERA should protect it from... should protect it from HEDP grenades. So I don't know. It really depends on Specialist Shanks here. And yeah, it called it. Look, they massively overshot that and got themselves blapped with an air-bursting 100mm HE shell. Twice. I need to pull those guys back off that tree line. And I need you to hit that. Specialist Shanks. Just... oh, it's coming closer. Well, isn't that the icing on the cake? And our other javelin kind of missed it a bit. And is now engaging the previous position of the javelin. Okay. The other javelin team needs to get into this fight. You guys, I thought I told you guys to do one. Yeah, this javelin needs to... quickly come this way a bit. And we can hope we might be able to get a spot on him through the tree line. Maybe... Optimism. Oh, I forgot to move these idiots. Well, they'll be dead soon, I guess. Yep, you can see it. Why we're not firing. Oof. This is because I was making fun of the BMP earlier, isn't it? Like, the game knows. And this Humvee is... I think this is just incidental fire and they're firing at something else. He does not want to use that javelin, does he? That's really... really, really annoying. But at least he can see it, and we can give him an order to track it, I guess. And he is sort of aware of it. Yeah. You need to just get away. You just need to go prone. And I'm not convinced this is going to end well now. Like this trench line that we've been in contact with, they've taken casualties, but they are still in the fight. And yeah, they just got wounded, so yeah, clearly they can see from there. Which clearly means I can see from there as well. So next turn, let's just Mark 19 the whole area and screw being efficient with enfilade fire. Oh, well, somebody got it, thank God. Yeah, obviously it was the other team who decided they can use their javelin. Whee! There we go. So on the plus side, that's dead and I can bring the Humvees out. Downside is that this team is out of ammunition and Specialist Shanks is having some kind of I desperately don't want to fire my weapon issue. Which we may politely describe as suboptimal. Right, let's go straight up the side here, up this little path. And start just shooting the absolute bejesus out of these malcontents in these trenches. I'm trying to find somewhere I can put a little bit of enfilade into. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Oh, boom. And you could obviously see from here because you're gonna got a little bit hit. So, it's all Hull Town fun times, is it? That's Right, well, let's just start putting rounds into the... It'll take him a while to correct. He'll hit something. Give that a turn to go, and then let's start moving. Well, this platoon feels like it might be a little out of it. They're all pretty upset. The casualty collection person, I guess, isn't actually the casualty collection guy. He is the ammo collection guy. He's now carrying nearly 600 rounds of 5.56, 400 rounds of 7.62, and a spare javelin, and he can't run anywhere. Which is hilarious. And this guy, yeah, okay, so he can't use it because they're not doing ammo sharing stuff. Whatever. I don't know what's going on. Let's Mark 19 something and hope we can pull this out of the bag a bit. Has to be said, I have not particularly, if I remember rightly anyway, tried to go out of my way to balance this particularly. I just kind of aped the structures that were already there. Yes, that's it. Your turn now, guys. Oh, there's some foxholes in there, isn't there? Oh, guys in a building. White buildings, big targets. It's not fair that they're shooting back, but we can deal with that. Yeah, that seems to have... Oh, well, I was going to say that seems to have shut them up, but the gunner for the M2 just got domed, didn't he? Okay, let's get rid of that house. I don't like that house. But I think we have some good enough suppression effect going on to start trying to move these guys up. Then we can see if we can't move up a bit closer. Let's get the HQ up as well and bring the mortar in there. I need some infantry that's not dead. Yeah, this platoon is basically out of action, isn't it? Yep, they just got absolutely wasted. Not a fan of that, because now I just have this one platoon coming in from the other direction. Oh, and there goes the gunner for that Humvee as well. Yeah, you know what? Where do you draw the line on a scenario where you just say, right, that was a disaster? Is it a disaster? I don't know, we'll see. You know, scenarios where you look and you say, well, you know, I'm not convinced that this is as balanced as I thought it was. But it could also be a, you know, one of the symptoms of the whole modern warfare thing, especially in combat mission, is that sometimes it can be difficult to balance because it really rests on a knife edge. You know, if I had taken out that BMP, well, I guess both of the BMPs, I have taken them out. If I had taken them out quicker, you know, then it wouldn't have been half as much of a problem. It was the fact that they managed to get some shots off at the base of fire over here that has really crippled this platoon. I just kind of want to bring this building down. Do need to be a bit careful because not convinced I have that much ammunition actually for the Mark 19s, even though they're carried in the Humvees. But I think time-wise, we've got a problem here. And it could potentially prove to be a significant one. Go on, shoot those guys. You're reloading. Let's get you up here and get that enfilade going. Come on, give me a point where I can fire. So I don't want to get too close. But I might have to. I'm not convinced about how well that's going to work, but hey ho. It's interesting. It's in the modern games, how fast things can go to shit, and that was a very good example of things going to shit in literally like 2 or 3 minutes. What's also fascinating is, off the top of my head, one of the ways I tried to inject some balance into it when I was messing around with it, with the scenario. Was to remove a javelin team from each of the US platoons. So it would have been interesting to see if they had their full complement of 2 javelins per platoon, if that would have gone better. The obvious answer being, yeah, duh. But like I said, I'm not sure we've got time to finish the job now. Though at least that building got destroyed. I didn't like that building. And these guys don't appear to be in too much trouble, so we might have a go at bringing them up. Emphasis on the might have a go part there. I'm not convinced they're going to have a fun time. But we're also kind of moving now. We are short on time. Whoop. Ah, okay, he grabbed some ammo again. That's good. Well, you know what? Let's get those MG teams up here. Oh, sorry, machine gunners. Individual machine gunners. Yeah, don't worry about him. Let's just get some bodies up online there. You can go sort him out. It's just like a whole dead fire team there, and just a big pile of dead pixel truppen. Yes, that's more like it. There we go. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, you better keep your head down. You better carry on shooting as well. Oh, because they were targeting an individual soldier. Go on, shoot him. Go on. There we go. Have some 50 cal. So yeah, I mean, maybe things are looking up a little bit more now. These guys are getting across without too many issues, so let's send another team to follow them. And bring an MG team up. "20 minutes is loads of time. Until something else goes wrong, I guess. But no, running away and lots of pinned people, that's what we're looking for here. Just doing a quick rewind because I'm not sure if I... Okay, they're nearly out of ammo, so... Yeah, I might need to go... get ourselves off direct targeting and just let them be opportunistic, which I'm not a fan of, but, you know, needs must. It's also... There's still another objective over there, isn't there? But yeah, okay, these guys are getting stuck in. That's excellent. We're not getting through that, but that wire obstacle, I mean. You guys need to split down into fire teams and move up. Give you a pause so you don't all run over at the same time. Yeah, okay, we're getting into a position where we're starting to dominate this trench. We need to think about how we're actually going to clear it. So, you know, in the original, the World War II one, I came up here, ran across here and breached the wire and then attacked down the trench, and that would be perfect. We've got a classic little L shape here that would allow me to do that. But I also don't fancy the Pixel Truppen's chances running across this field yet, at least. You know it's bad when you're sending the FO in. And, these guys aren't really aren't merging their teams, are they? And where's the other end? Oh, there he is. Because he can't. He's carrying too much stuff and he's too knackered to run. So, yeah, we're kind of back to that time issue. You know, you're going to have 60 minutes left at the end of this turn. Is that going to be enough? Is this a good... Well, at least we're putting the fire out now. Go on, stick your head up. Yeah, these guys have gotten mulched, finally. But there's still... I mean, it looks like there's still a few of them hanging around. That looks like an intact squad. Unhappy face. Can they shoot down that gap? Yeah, I bet they effing can, can't they? Screw that then. Let's bring the 50 cal Humvee round this way a little bit. And let's see if we can't get another angle. You know, ideally, what I want is to get them out, out of their positions. I want to shoot them out of their positions. I don't want to go in and assault them. That's silly. But you know, there's a time concern here. Though, I mean, obviously it's a time concern. Well, one of the assets that would make my life a lot easier here would have been artillery, because we could have just whacked this trench line pretty early on. You know, air bursting 105s or 155s would just make an absolute mess of all this stuff. The hard part is finding them first. But you know, the problem that goes hand in hand is the fact that if you know I have artillery, does the enemy have artillery? And if they do have artillery, then oh, there's a whole fire team just. What the hell were they doing? Suddenly put their big boy pants on. Standing up, firing RPGs at me. Okay, these guys are actually out of 556. Can't take a shortcut and avoid the woods, he said, like an idiot. Let's try and at least take Millerhoff. Oh, so they pop up, do that, and then stick their heads down. Is that it? It's the way to fight, I guess. And these guys are going to get driven off by small arms fire. Not something that would have happened to the Locusts in the World War II version. It must be said. Oh, now he's completely out of action. I wonder if we can swap the crews over. I just need to get back in the line. Can you guys... Well, let's get these guys up here and see if they make it. And if they do, this should be clear, and we can filter them up here and risk the ridiculous amount of potential enemy positions hanging around over here and in this trench line and all this stuff, and try and just get close to the ground a bit. Because I don't want to send these guys across there for what should be obvious reasons. I mean, these guys actually are expendable, so maybe we could. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. This mission is probably a bit of a wash anyway. Oh, there goes somebody else. Off the top of my head, I had a bit of smoke going in the last one, didn't I? That would probably have been a good idea. Can they pop smoke? You can. Excellent. Not sure how much it'll help, but excellent. Let's get you guys there and get that team in there and see if that does... well, anything really. And you can't shoot because... yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but that Humvee looks like it's out of ammo. Out of action. It's not quite out of ammo. Hey, how are things going to go for you guys? Apart from really badly. So they've set the charge by the looks of it. They got a little bit of smoke out. Did I order them to get into the trench? Oh, I can't remember. How many grenades have they got? 21. That is a good amount of grenades for clearing trenches. Okay, so that didn't work. Maybe the breach kit is actually just for buildings. That would suck, but it would also make an annoying amount of sense. So let's bring these guys up here. Oh, you guys, you have about 1,000 rounds. You can shoot the bejeebus out of that position and get those buggers suppressed. Let's see if we can't get into this position. Also, 40mm grenades inside the trench there. Hopefully that did a bit of damage. But yeah, those guys are clearly not actually gonna... let's just give them an order straight into the trench and see if they go. I am tunnel visioning in on the fight up here a little bit. I keep forgetting about all these other units I have in the back. Not so much these guys, they're at the fight. The javelin, I don't think the javelin team is actually going to fire or anything, which is not helpful. But off the top of my head, I did also, I swapped the... Oh, they're going to go round, aren't they? Oh, they're going to die. Let's watch these guys instead, who have a marginally better chance. Because they're doing something ever so slightly less stupid. And they should pop smoke once they're finished lining up, ready to get shot. Maybe. Who knows? At least we're getting a fire out on these guys if they're still there. Well, at least they decided not to run round, actually, I guess. And then we jump in the trench, and we all get shot. No, in the trench. Please. Please get in the trench. Oh dear. And I know you guys are suppressed, but you need to frag the ever-loving crap out of that bit of trench there. Otherwise, you are going to get absolutely wasted. That MG is out of ammunition. You've got a bit left. You need to run back. Let's be honest. Ah, at least you are back in action. Come on. It's grenade o'clock. Ah, there we go. Here comes one. Who knows where it... Where did that grenade even go? I mean, I guess it went in the trench, but not great. Though I should feel, perhaps should point out here that the trench is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing, which is making it harder to do stuff like that. We have all these guys in the back. Oof, right. Alright, let's keep bringing bodies in. Let's see the half of that team. Let's get you up as well. And stand by to bring you guys up. Definitely not getting to Albrecht half now. These guys seem to be okay. Yeah, let's keep squeezing bodies through the gaps here. Got a bit of a foothold, now we need to expand it. Just have these other random bits and bobs hanging around at the back. Oh, they can't shoot, can they? I mean, he is literally on the gun. He needs to be able to shoot things. I don't know if the game's getting a bit confused about who is manning what weapon and all kinds of other stuff. Well. Hey, there they are. Yeah, we got him flanked. Can call off the base of fire now. Oh, they got somebody else as well. Oh, and another one. Please shoot that guy. Yep, that's it. He literally just did a 360 no scope to me. That's the guy with the M110. I should just totally turn that into a short. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh, they surrendered. Okay then. Right. Unexpected. Yeah, so 10 men killed, 12 wounded. Well, let's just ignore that and add them together. 22 casualties. Not great. Almost all of them to 2 BMP3s. And then the Russians only got 11 men still kicking, and what, 25 plus 14, maths don't fail me now, 39 casualties in total. So, let's have a look. I'm sure I put a tank in, but evidently not. Maybe that was in one of the earlier playtests. I should point out, changed up some of the elements. So in the original, there's flak positions in these foxholes on the edges of the woods, and like I don't have any flak, and replacing them with an igla, like one guy with an igla sat in a foxhole that you have to cross over and like comb a wood block to find like a guy in each corner. Yeah, screw that. So I think I put all the iglas in the in Mullerhof. But yeah, look, 14. Ooh, how many casualties did I have overall? 22, 14 of them caused by this one BMP, because it got into the right position and was able to actually exert the firepower that it has. And the BMP3s, I mean, we mock them all the time, but 100mm HE, 100mm HE and a 30mm cannon is no joke. And it will ruin your day. And it ruined my day. But not as much as these Russians had their day mashed. I mean, that's the Mark 19s shredding that building, and then this trench over an extended firefight is just full of dead Russians. So how good did the Mark 19s actually do? 12 between them, not amazing. We can also see actually with the this javelin that blew this one up. In fact, the body should be nearby, right? Yeah. So there's a couple of guys who were too slow in getting away from the BMP there before it cooked off. What else have we got? Yeah, this platoon on that flank didn't do an awesome job. But that's almost entirely because they just got absolutely schwacked. The mortar did nothing, just like one casualty and maybe a bit of suppression. So yeah, what did cause most of them? I caused quite a lot of casualties. Yeah, I mean 12 between the 40, yeah, like 14 between the vehicles. That's very roughly half. These guys clearing the final trench got 5. Yeah, I think that's it. Just like a little bit of a smattering. Oh, these guys got 3, didn't they? Yeah. So yeah, that's the story of the casualties, I guess. Yeah, obviously, a big flaw in the plan on my side was that I was never going to be able to get through here because these guys, it's a technical thing. These things here, they are breach kits. So apparently, they're okay for blowing doors off hinges and getting through windows and all kinds of other fun stuff. But barbed wire obstacle says no. So maybe if we were going to expand this, we would need to attach a breach team to each platoon. Um, the something that would really have made a difference here, I think, would have been 81mm mortars, or even a single 120, because the 60 mils just weren't just didn't deliver. They don't have. They only have, like, this one didn't find a round, so it's got 22 rounds. It doesn't have the same kind of capability as the ones in World War II. The World War II ones, you get in a weapons platoon, you get 3 of them, and they have like 50-ish, 48. I want to say 48 rounds. So they really can hammer a position with 2 of them, and 40 odd rounds between them. Yeah, it doesn't have the ammunition. It doesn't have the weight of fire to make up for the low accuracy. Whereas 120mm mortar, that will probably still be problematic because it has a low minimum range. You'd have to use it in an indirect roll, but it does come with some precision rounds, so you could use them with the drone, which spotted very little. 81s, I think, are a sweet spot. A couple of 81mm mortars, one, if not attached, then linked to each platoon. I think that would be a solid option if I needed to clear a trench, which is essentially what we've been doing here. Obstacle breaching, breach teams, better mortars, or some kind of artillery on call, because these guys, the FOs, didn't really have anything to do. I like units in my missions to actually have a purpose, not just be there because they're there with the TOE. But of course, does that mean that you need to? Does that mean it would be too easy for the Americans, and you would have to give the Russians some artillery or some other off-map support to balance it out? In which case, does that mean that you can't? That totally changes the dynamic of. We've basically been assaulting this one position for half an hour. That's easily enough time for enemy artillery to absolutely ruin, just close down and annihilate, either platoon on whichever avenue of approach. So from a defensive standpoint, that's what you want. But from a mission, a scenario design standpoint, less, not so much. In a similar vein, the BMPs and the javelins. So there were ultimately 3 BMPs. This one, which was already there or had moved in position without us noticing. I'm not sure, actually. I might need to go back and check and see if this actually could see anything, because it is right behind like a cluster of trees. And then these 2 up here, they did their job. They came in, they dropped off their infantry, and they supported them, and they got schwacked by the javelins eventually. There is a kind of it feels to me very binary. Either the BMPs are going to come up and the javelins are just going to schwack them straight away, or the BMPs are going to have a bit of time, or even longer if the javelins are a total screw up, to really, really lay it on. And, you know, thermal sights and the firepower that they have, they're a problem. So you kind of trying to find the balancing, the fulcrum point between, do I give the US player so many javelins it's trivial, to if those javelins are slightly out of position and they can't see the BMPs, or if the Russian player / AI gets lucky and shreks them, or something weird happens, like happens to specialist Shank over there, you know, is it going to tip too far the other way and it's just too easy, or it's too difficult for the Americans? But yeah, we will see. Well, that used up my evening. Yeah. So you can transfer these things over. We've had a little bit of Black Sea, which we don't see very often, for what should be obvious reasons. Hope you all enjoyed this. This has hopefully given me a little bit of breathing space. I can get back to flying bananas, which should hopefully make sense later. Yeah, hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you found it interesting, and I'll catch you in the next video.